Yes, let's see how it is going indeed. We are on way station in the top left. We have the Red Protoss player from Team Fnatic. He's down 1-0, almost in elimination position. He's Ignite. And his Dutch opponent here in the bottom right from Team Esports Club Visualize, he is RainMan.
So, as this stands, 1-0 up for RainMan with a very close hold. What do you expect to see in game number 2 here, Wayman?
It's a tough call. Like, I do feel that at this point it doesn't really seem like Ignite feels too confident in his macro play. In the games against Shaq, the macro that he did wasn't all that convincing. So I do expect there to be some sort of, perhaps a bit of a cheesy play, perhaps another all-in from him coming. The long distance, however, on this map doesn't really facilitate that all too well. There's a lot of open space here, which really, caters to Zerg players like RainMan who enjoy, their creep sped, their massive roach numbers, their link forces. I really feel that this is RainMan's map to lose, really.
The important thing, which is quite often not seen if you just glance at this map, is just how long the rush distance is from top left to bottom right. It is absolutely monstrous. And due to that, it can lead to some very interesting dynamics. And I'd agree with you, it does favour RainMan. The only thing that could be a trouble for him is the third base. And you've got two choices for that. You can either come to this kind of, it's not really an island, but it's kind of a little, it's like the Florida of this map, just sticking off the side there as a little pork. Or you can take the one down to the left. If you take the one to the left, it's slightly further away to hold, but it's not so exposed to air. And with that exposure to air that is actually apparent all around the main and natural, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ignite go for a Stargate.
Yeah, the Stargate is what I had in the top of my mind for a while as well. It's really such almost an obvious choice for Protoss to go for on this map, simply because it's so wide open. So you need that mobility and that speed in order to be able to get around. Similarly, though, going for Speedling with a lot of Muta seems to be a very good choice here for RainMan. But the question is if he's gonna, is he gonna play according to that meta, or is he just gonna play his own game? Is he just gonna make a lot of Speedlings, a lot of Roaches, and just smash through the front whenever he so pleases to?
Well, we'll have to keep an eye out to see. But for the moment, we've just got very normal stuff coming down from both players. Pool into hatch, very early third hatch came down here from RainMan. That was about 3 minutes 50. That's nice timings for him. He's going to be keeping up economically, and this should be a fairly normal position as we go into the mid game. Two links sneaking through though for RainMan. This is really nice for him if he does actually take them in.
Yeah, he doesn't actually. Actually, nice macro by RainMan. He is going to run past this cannon and get the scout off. He actually splits the links and manages to save both of them, and he will now be bothering this mineral line for as much as he can. He already got most of the scout off, he saw the forge, he saw the gateway, so he knows his opponent is going for at least not some sort of gateway aggression early on in the game, and right now this is just so annoying for Ignite to have happen.
It's frustrating. That's probably the biggest thing. It's not something that's going to be game ending or crazy bad, it's just an attention draw.
Nice micro here by Ignite, saving that one hurt probe. RainMan, of course, knew he didn't have a lot of time in that mineral line left as the probe gun grew and the zealot came out. And we do see the Stargate now underway for Ignite, so I guess we can fist bump each other for that call. But at the same time, like I mentioned, that is kind of the expected play. And I like the fact that RainMan is already working on his creep spread here.
Stargate, as you said, is now coming through. We've got the +1 ground weapons also on its way. This can lead to some interesting timings. Meanwhile, RainMan, as you said, just pushing forward some creep spread, adding in his first 2 gases now. These are actually quite late gases at the point he's getting them, but just very economic focused.
RainMan tried to send in an Overlord into the main of Ignite. The Stalker, however, was waypointed towards the edge and will not be getting the kill on this Overlord, unfortunately for him. He would have had he responded in time. So RainMan has not seen the Stargate, and because of that, it seems like Ignite is actually going to get an Oracle.
Now, this is pretty interesting from the Oracle, because in game number 1, we saw just the single Phoenix in order to try and force back Overlords and hide the fact that the Immortal Sentry play was coming. The Oracle is still hitting relatively late, but there's still no Spore Crawlers, and there's no information that this is coming. RainMan has not scouted it.
No, he has not in the slightest. Actually, there's a probe already sneaking out onto the map. Maybe get some a good position in here. And the build so far from Ignite is actually very similar. You know, he's getting an early Stargate, but he's only made one unit out of it. And he's adding on a lot of gates. So that will probably be the follow-up. He's going to try to maximize the amount of damage this Oracle can do. And then just follow up with a massive game weight attack. And here we go. Oracle flies into the third. Gets the first kill, second kill. It is a bloodbath. RainMan does run the probes away in time though. The drones.
5 worker kills and the Oracle's still alive is definitely worthwhile. Trying to pick up a couple more drones is going to get a few more. Needs to get ideally about 8 plus to make it worthwhile. But all while it's alive, it's still a very, very nice trade. Does manage to sneak away. 11 drone kills. That Oracle's paid for itself.
Oh, it certainly has. I still have to commend RainMan though for the fact that he tried to minimize the losses in an efficient way. Like sometimes you see them running their drones all the way across the map, but that really delays a lot of mining time as well. The problem here though for RainMan is the fact that the follow-up from Ignite is much faster than it was in the previous game. The Roach Warren for RainMan hasn't even finished at this point, and the first warp in is already happening.
There's no information on this is coming either. The Overseer only just now moving in, sees all these Stargates, but it's just off creep. The Watchtower's already seen this push is coming. Hydralisks being built frantically in an attempt to try and defend this, but the third hatch almost certainly gonna fall.
Oh, here come the Lynx though, on a nice surround here on a couple of units that were not with the rest of the army. The Oracle does go and attack and he can roast these Lynx quite fast, but we need Hydras here to defend, and actually some of them are popping out at the fourth and they're getting killed as fast as they can.
Well, the Spore Crawler will get the kill on the Oracle. It gets taken down, but the damage is already being done. A lot of workers have died, 29 in total. However, Speedling's trying to counterattack with a few Hydralisks there, but the Hydra count just not high enough yet to give out the damage required to stop this.
Yes, he's trying to buffer for these Hydras with these Lynx as much as possible. However, the +1 Zealots are just so cost efficient at dealing with these Lynx and these Hydras once they get on top. A nice round from the other side though on these Stalkers, meaning that they will not be able to survive actually, and RainMan seems to be somewhat holding on, but he needs to be so careful of his control. Takes out the Mothership Core and needs to start kiting these Zealots like he's never kited before.
The Hydras being controlled absolutely perfectly at the moment, slowly picking away these Zealots. In come the Lynx now, more reinforcements coming through. The important thing is the Hydras are still alive. They're the big damage dealers. There's not really too much here for Ignite, but he is warping in more. Bear in mind the fact that there's only 38 drones for RainMan. He doesn't have that much income in order to continue this level of production really much longer at all.
Yes, this is a massive problem for RainMan indeed. He's trying to get some pickings off wherever he can, trying to focus down some of the Zealots, but here we go. Actually overcommitting here with the Hydras almost, it seems. He can kite them back a bit, but the trade isn't all that efficient here for RainMan. He needs more Hydras, he needs more Lynx.
This is a problem for him. He's trying to pump out more Hydralisks, but there's no Lynx to buffer for them. The Stalkers are chasing down the distance, and they're getting the odd kill. The third hatch going down is the real big loss, though. That's kind of the point where a Protoss player goes, you know what, this was worthwhile. If the third hatch is dead, a Zerg is always going to be in a bit of a rough spot.
Yes, RainMan now finally adding on more Lynx. He's still floating quite a bit of money due to the fact that he lost a queen and wasn't able to inject on his natural hatchery, so his army isn't of the size that he ideally wants it to be. However, he is down in supply against the Protoss, and the quality of the army of the Protoss is just increasing ever so much.
It's a very interesting dynamic that we've got into this game at the moment, RainMan, because we're kind of stuck in a situation where, while a lot of damage has been done to RainMan, Ignite is struggling to deal the killing blow.
He does, and that's mostly because of the fast, the really good micro by RainMan, and the fact these Hydra is just so efficient in their DPS. He was making a Roach Worm, but I still haven't spotted any Roaches underway, and he needs something to buffer against the Zealots so he can do the DPS with his Hydras. And are we gonna go for this? It seems that RainMan is actually in a decent position here, but there are just so many Zealots and nice force fields here. Getting a couple of these Hydras caught. Lynx dying, but it's just such a close situation now.
It is going to be very, very tense. Drone pool, yet again. They're acting as the buffer, trying to keep these Hydras alive.
Good transfuse there by RainMan, keeping his queen alive. Now adding on roaches, which are actually a very important unit in this composition, being able to buffer for these zealots even a lot more efficiently than lings, and it seems like Igniter is once again very reluctant to actually engage, whereas RainMan is continuing to be, well, defensive aggressive.
Still waiting to see where these Hydras, where these Roaches are gonna go, but the pressure is no means off yet. RainMan is just doing a fantastic job of buying himself time, and it's all down to his micro. He is microing incredibly well, but he's still losing more resources, and he's down by 10 workers. Long term, this isn't a situation RainMan can really stay in. He's got to crush this force and retake a third if he wants to take this game.
He's getting the range upgrade for his Hydras, which will really help in a defensive situation. The question is though, can he get the position in which that actually helps? Zealot's now moving in. RainMan trying to kite as much as he can behind his hatchery, but the force fields actually get quite a bit caught. Hydra's doing as much damage as they can. The Roach is doing a decent job here at tanking, but there's just so much damage coming out of all of these stalkers in the army of RainMan. It is dwindling, and he seems finally the drone pull does happen, but it seems that this game will be going towards Ignite, who is finally microing his stalkers as the optimum way again. And a nice clump of zealots now warps in, goes for the kill, and yes, GG. Ignite does take the game.